Today on the Best Everett Ellison Show. Yeah, we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about how I believe that all the men that vote for the Democratic Party are gay men or on the down low. And if not, they should all be moving out. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today on the Best Everett Ellison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. Back in 2012, Newsweek magazine had on the cover a picture of Barack Obama. And in the headline they had America's first gay president. Had a rainbow halo around his head. Barack looking up. Newsweek said he's gay as hell. I don't know. I didn't say it. Newsweek said it. They got some inside baseball on that. I looked at it back then and I said, boy, this show is low down. Call that man gay like that, and he hadn't said that he's gay. Didn't pay much attention. Well, last week, as y'all know, I had this little kerfluffle with Roland Martin. A little short, funny-looking guy. Looked like a furry. Talk a little bit too much. And I was kind of rough on Roland. Might have scared him. And said some choice words toward him that might have offended some of y'all. So, I apologize for that. I got a little bit angry with Roland and called him out his name a few times. But Roland, he's still running. He's still scared. Still don't want to come and debate for some reason. And I said, boy, that show is effeminate behavior. Well, got a text from someone, and I looked at what this young lady by the name of Angela Stanton King said. It was interesting. That kind of ties into all of this. She says, breaking Democrat at Roland Martin forgot to edit this clip. We were all forced to watch his love and admiration for black male buttocks. Black male buttocks. As he casually scrolled across his screen. Then she says this. It's a very provocative statement that got my wheels turning in my head. She said, I told y'all in a post I wrote a few weeks back that 90% of the men I know that still represent or support the Democratic Party are gay. Watch how mad he gets when he finds out it aired, and how much more proof do you need? So she said that Roland was doing something on TV, and he had a little split screen going, and somehow or another he made a mistake, and he showed what he was showing on the split screen on TV, and it was a black man walking around with his butt out. And Roland was sitting there watching that. For some reason, I guess he was enjoying it. Seemed to be Roland's thing. So I'm looking at all of this going on, and it's not like the Democratic Party lying about it no more. I mean, they tell people, we LGBTQ, we proud of it. Rainbow flag, we the party of LGBTQ. They tell it. And the way Roland acts, and the way Barack Obama acts, and the way, hip-hop culture is with Lil Nas X and P. Diddy done got caught with all kind of lubricants and dildos and mess like that, and R. Kelly, bisexual, they say, and you got Al Sharpton walking around with his hair pressed like a woman. And they actually coming out. You got these black preachers getting married to men. And all. I'm saying, okay, what the hell's going on here now? Used to be a time when they lied about it. Now they just flaming with it. Kamala Harris walking around, men in dresses. Joe Biden hiring men in dresses. Ignorance now is an option. Everybody know. If you're carrying the Nazi flag, you're a Nazi. You don't believe, you don't like Jews. Carrying the Confederate flag, you're a Confederate. You believe black people should be slaves. If you're carrying the flag of ISIS, yeah. You best believe that you don't like the West and you don't like Americans and you don't like Jews. You want to see them all dead. You can't have the Hezbollah flag or the Hamas flag, right? You're anti-Semite. Well, I can tell every man right here that based on what I see in the Democratic Party right now, if you are voting a part of the Democratic Party, you call yourself a man, yeah, you just might be gay. You remember Jeff Foxworthy? You just might be a redneck? Yeah. I mean, how could you not? I know your excuses. I know you. I done heard them all. Well, I might not do it, but I support their right to do it. No, it don't work like that, dog. It doesn't work like that. If you're a man, you're supposed to rebuke wrongdoing. You're never, ever supposed to allow evil in your presence. You don't support somebody's right to do wrong. So you can support a man's right to rape a woman. He got a right to do it. You can support a man's right to rob a bank or to blow somebody's brains out. He got a right to do it. I don't support it, but I support his right to do it. No. You lying. You suppressing some instincts. I'm here to help you today. I'm here to tell you to stop being on the down low. Come on out with it, man. The only way you can ever get over something is you got to admit to it. And y'all been fighting it too long. You brothers need to come on out with it now so we can help you out. Stop playing the game. I don't support it, but I support his right to do it. That means you support it. No, well, I don't judge. What? You don't judge? Hell, you ain't got to judge. The Bible already called it wrong. Read Romans 1. Tells you all about it. It is not judgment to tell a guy, hey, man, you need to slow your car down. There's a hole with the bridge is out down there, and if you keep on driving down there, you're going to run your car off the bridge. Is that judgment to tell him the truth? Is it judgment to tell somebody, yo, man, the Bible speaks against homosexuality? No, it's judgment when you say, I don't like homosexuality, and I'm going to punish you myself for it, which I don't agree with at all. No one has a right to punish anybody in America for anything that anybody has done. If it's against the law, it's against the law. If it's not, it's not. But you are obligated to tell people what the Bible says about it. And I know everybody wants to play these little games that the Bible didn't say it. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. It speaks very, very, very plainly about honor their father and their mother, not honor their mother and father and father. It talks completely about marriage, that it was between one man and one woman. That's why a man leaves his mother and his father and clings to his wife, not his husband, not her wife. The people that don't understand this don't even understand the character of God. God will not participate in negative law. What is negative law? Something that doesn't produce something. He will always show you the perfect example, not the imperfect one. So stop trying to play these little legalistic games with it. It's what it is, and you're trying to warp the Bible and warp Christianity to fit your own little sinful desires, as Satan has always done in the Bible. We know about what he did with Jesus when he was up on the mountain and they were talking scripture and he was trying to always warp the scripture. Is it not written that you could turn this stone into bread? Always trying to play the game. He's still doing the same game over and over again, and you're supposed to know what he's doing, and you're supposed to do what Jesus said to him. Get thee behind me, Satan. So it's not judgment to tell a person what the Bible says. It's only judgment when you decide to place a penalty on that person yourself. Think about a courtroom, okay? You got the plaintiff, or you got the prosecutor usually, you got the defendant, you got the jury, and then you got the judge. The jury finds him guilty. The judge is the one that poses the sentence. And we do not say you should pose sentence on anyone. Just tell them the truth. And then those that say, well, it's the law, and we have to obey the law. Nobody's telling you to break the law. But there's a higher law. It's a higher law. And we are supposed to always try to elevate ourselves to that higher law. That's where the end of slavery came from. We understood that there was a higher law than the Constitution. And we were always trying to get to where God wanted us to be. We were always fighting to elevate ourselves to those Judeo-Christian values of love God first with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then after that, you love your neighbor as yourself. Because the only way you can love your neighbor as yourself is that you first love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. After that, you can love yourself. And then once you love yourself, you can then love your neighbor as yourself. Because if you don't do that first, you'll hate yourself. And then you say, well, I allow myself to shoot drugs in my system. I'll let my neighbor do it. I call myself the N-word, and I'll call my neighbor that. I don't have any love for my body. I don't have any love for his body. It's the law. We go for a higher law, not man-made law. So I guess, when it was a law to rape your slave and kill your slave, that was okay too? No, it's a higher law. And then here's the one I can't stand. You can't help who you love. Well, my friends, love is an action verb. It's not a feeling or emotion. It's an action verb. Love is what you do. What good is love if you're sitting around loving somebody if you ain't doing nothing to help them? You're not doing anything for them. You show your love through your action. And we can all control our actions. And whether you love a 7-year-old child and you want to become a pedophile or not, yeah, that's on you. Can't help who you love. Woody Allen talked about the heart wants what the heart wants. And he was raping and sleeping with his daughters. Heart wants what the heart wants. You better control yourself. Fruit of spirit, self-control. Can't help who you love. You can help what you do, and love is an action verb. So don't come to me with that either. No, you're just trying to cover up the fact that you don't want anyone to know that you got those tendencies in you, boy. You're either outright with it or you're down low with it. And if not, you're leaving the party. Because I'm going to tell you this. They said that most black folks are Democrats. I'm going to tell you the truth. Swear for God. As not a black man affiliated with me or a man affiliated with me that is part of the Democrat Party. None of my brothers, none of my brothers-in-law, none of my friends. You ain't gonna be able to stand in front of Vince Everett Ellison and justify that to me. I'm gonna change your mind. Now you got to admit to me that you're a damn coward. And that way you never come in my presence again. Yet you're a hypocrite. That you're a liar. You're gonna set in my face and tell me you're a Christian, Muslim, or Jew, and you're gonna support this type of foolishness. Now why are they doing it? Why are the Democrats so wrapped up in this homosexuality? Why are they trying to make everybody believe not so much that gayness is a right? We got a right to own guns, but they don't buy guns for us, right? We have a right to drink liquor, but they don't buy us liquor. We have a right to smoke cigarettes. Oh, they don't want you to smoke cigarettes on TV no more. We have all of these rights. But it's something about abortion and homosexuality, which is not just a right, it's a virtue. It's something we want to elevate in society. It's something that we want to push and press and make people believe it's good. Those two things. Shout your abortion. Gay pride. These two destructive behaviors that destroy societies. Why is the Democrat Party pushing it? Well, I've told you about the depopulation movement. And that's a real thing. These climate change folks, man, they believe that the human being is the virus. The human is the virus. The human has to be extinct.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population.
Yeah, the Matthews theory came out when they talked about we're not going to be able to feed everybody. So we got to start cutting down on the population. Theory's been completely debunked. We always find a way to feed the people. They don't care. These people are dead enders. What does Satan do? He's come to kill, steal, and destroy. It's just in his nature. It's like cancer, like a tornado, like a hurricane. Why do you do that? I just do it. That's what I'm here to do. A cancer will eat up the body and kill its host. It's insanity. Democrats are the same way. They're cancer. They know that 90% of black people usually vote for them. What do? They put them in prison, put abortion clinics in the black community, put drugs in the black community, take away their right to defend themselves, allow crime, murder, poverty. Why? They got to kill. Now they're bringing in the illegals to take your place. You're being replaced. Why? Because you belong to a death cult. And the death cult does what? It kills you. Oh, there have been many civilizations that have fallen into that type of ignorance and fratricide and insanity, where they lose their minds and they destroy one another. That's the Democrat Party. There's two good things about that, y'all. Both of them are bad. One is one thing and it's bad and good. This one thing is that, and it's good and it's bad. We won't have to deal with you for much longer because you're killing yourself. That's bad. And we won't have to deal with you much longer because you're killing yourself, and that's good. All we have to do is sit back and watch. And here's the thing about us, conservatives. We're doing all right. We're going to have our guns. You come around us and mess with us, we're going to shoot you. We're going to live in our gated communities. We're going to be all right. We're going to work for a living. We're going to have a little money about us. We're going to be okay. We know you hate us. Nevertheless, we're still trying to help you because we love you. Still trying to win. I'm doing this podcast talking to y'all. Man, there's so many other things I could be doing right now. I mean, I could be sitting at home just chilling, eating, on a vacation somewhere. I'm down here doing this podcast trying to tell y'all to cut this bull crap out, or you're going to die. We still love you. We're still trying to pass laws for school choice, even though we can send our children to private schools. We want to help you do it for yours. We're still trying to pass laws to make sure you can get guns to defend yourself, because we're going to have our guns. We're still trying to pass laws, trying to put the border up, keep the illegals out, because they ain't coming in our neighborhoods. They're coming in yours. We're still trying to pass laws to keep the fentanyl and the drugs off the street. They ain't selling drugs in my neighborhood. They're selling them in yours. Hell, we're trying to help you out. And now we're trying to warn you that these sick, perverted, crazy, nasty, malcontent, ne'er-do-well Democrats are sexualizing your children, and they're going to erase your whole life. And they're doing a good job of it. Showed this statistic in one of my last podcasts. It showed that they did a survey. It said that 34% of young black men under the age of 30, 34% say that they're LGBTQ, 33% say that they are heterosexual, and the rest of them don't know. Yeah. That's a society that you're building. And that's because 90% of black people still profess to be with the Democrat Party. And that's what they want to do for all of America. They see that as a success, y'all. Oh, a little old kid come out now and say they're gay or transgender. They want to give them a party. We're so proud of you, Johnny, for coming out as queer. You're going to want somebody queer for Palestine. Queer for Palestine. Tell you what, you take your little queer behind the Palestine, see how long you stay queer for Palestine, see what they do to you when you get to Palestine. I mean, Saddam Hussein said, hey man, we ain't got to worry about the West, they're gonna die. And Western Europe and America is dying because of this foolishness right here. And that's in full speed ahead. So demonic that they see death as a virtue. Everything they do is about dying and killing. It's a shame. So now, in this Democratic Party hip hop culture, I remember when they said back in the day, hip hop was the culture. I said, well, where did that come from? Hip hop being a culture? I mean, the blues wasn't a culture, and R&B wasn't a culture, and bluegrass country music wasn't a culture, but this was a culture. The head of that culture, P. Diddy, well, as y'all see, he locked his ass up. P. Diddy just doing all kind of stuff. I mean, they saying men, women, probably had orangutans in the daggum room with him. He's just showing out, taping everybody, beating up women. That P. Diddy on screen, just beating the hell out that girl at the hotel. Whooping on folks. I mean, locking folks in rooms. I mean, it's just crazy. Said T.D. Jakes was with him. I don't know. That's what they say. Preachers with him, politicians with him. It's all going to come out, y'all. The culture. Yeah, Lil Nas X out there. Have y'all seen him? Yeah, he part of the culture too. Nas and P. Diddy, both Democrats. That should be enough right there to make you lead a party by itself. You don't want to be affiliated with them two jokers at all. R. Kelly. R. Kelly got about 75 life sentences. He'll never get out of jail. Bisexual, messing with men and women. That's your culture. That's the Democrat Party. A party of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots. All tied into one. Yeah, this sister came out and spilled the beans on all of y'all. She said that she believed that about 90% of the men that vote for the Democrat Party are gay. I'm going to take that to 100. If not, just like if you was part of Nazi Germany during that time and you didn't hate Jews, you need to have enough nerve and enough moxie to leave that party and disavow it. Because if not, when the Americans come in at the end of the day and see you on that list as a Nazi, yeah, you're going to be pinned with their crimes. If you are not a Democrat, if you don't believe in this homosexual agenda, this LGBTQ agenda, where they castrate little boys and call them little girls, giving double vasectomies to little girls and call them little boys, where they believe in 9-month abortion, where they believe in allowing grown, demented men to go into the bathroom with your wife and daughters and watch them urinate, where they believe in letting men as big as me go in and swim against little girls in the 11th grade and run against them in track. And the daddies better not say nothing. They'll put the dad in jail. Where Joe Biden sent out an executive order saying that he wants to have no limitations on sex change operations and took Tennessee to the Supreme Court so that sex change operations can be allowed on minor children. You supporting that party. Bunch of sick psychopaths. Got preachers supporting them. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourself. Talking about the gay agenda, LGBTQ agenda. Going in schools, bringing drag queens in front of little children, shaking their asses in your children's faces, telling them that they should explore, walking around with dresses on and makeup, and that this is a good lifestyle. And you sit there and allow it, and you gonna tell me that you don't have those tendencies, boy? I'm going to walk up to you and tell you, hey, man, you know what they're doing? Yeah, no, Bill, tell me what they're doing. They are taking men in dresses in front of your 6-year-old child. They're dancing in front of him and then telling them to explore living life as a man in a dress with makeup, wig, and high heels on. How you feel about that? Hey, I ain't got no problem with it. You got no problem with that. No. You got no problem with them sexually abusing your son to a point where he's wearing diapers before he's 15 years old for the rest of his life. And you gonna tell me that you're not into that lifestyle? Hey, you know, the term down low exists for a reason. And you're saying, just because I hang out with them don't mean that I'm one of them. Yes, it does. You can play that game all you want to, player. Nah. Birds of a feather show not flock together. I mean, we can't even get enough troops now to join the military because they bought this mess in the military. The military is supposed to be a lean, mean fighting machine designed to do one thing: kill people. That's all. The State Department comes in to negotiate. And when negotiations fall down, they bring in the military to kill. Blow up your houses, blow up your schools, shoot you in the face, set you on fire. But instead, the Democratic Party decided they want to make the military a social experiment. We want to bring men off the street. And then if they want to transition and turn into women, we're going to let them come in the military and do that. And we're going to bring gay men off the street, don't ask, don't tell first, and then let them come into the military and let the whole unit cohesion thing break down. So now you can't hardly even get young men to join the military because they don't want to be around that. They're giving multi-$1,000 bonuses, almost $25,000 bonuses now, they still can't fill the coffers. Why? Because real men don't want to be around it. They'd rather stay at home. Their fathers won't let them go in. Yeah. I said it. See, y'all didn't see. Okay, let's get something straight here. Okay, all right. The stuff that you guys whisper is the stuff that I say out loud. Why? Because I'm not afraid. 365 times in the Bible, in our Bible, God tells us to fear not. One for every day of the year. I am not afraid to tell the truth. This lifestyle has a visceral effect on all real men. All real men don't want their sons involved in it. And here's something for you, for y'all that want to play this game. All human behavior, not some, all human behavior can be controlled. Unless something's wrong with you up here, that's why they call people insane and crazy. They're the ones that can't control themselves. Well, I was born that way. Well, you can be born again. We are all born with strengths and we're born with weaknesses. We're supposed to elevate our strengths. We're supposed to control our weaknesses because our weaknesses will kill us. You're born with a bad temper. You think you're just supposed to go out and start killing and fighting folks? No, you control that. You're born with an addiction, alcoholism or whatever. You control that. You're born obese. You have a hard time keeping weight off. You control that. You're born promiscuity, promiscuousness. You control that. But instead, these psychiatrists, because they want your money, will tell you you was born that way. I tell you what you do. Take this pill. You can't control it, because if you control it, they go out of business. And then you have these sorry politicians that say there's nothing wrong. Go ahead and indulge in it. Vote for me, and I even use the power of the federal government to make sure you can destroy yourself with it. And now the nation is dying. Whole lines of families that have lasted since the beginning of time are dying out. Dying out. Isn't that amazing? You've lasted since the beginning of time. And now this generation, you die out because you decided to turn away from the teachings of God and indulge in your sick, promiscuous behavior, promulgated and pushed by the Democrat Party. So yeah, I said it. All of you so-called men, like Roland Martin, James Clyburn, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, all you black preachers out there, all you politicians, all of you men that run around carrying that rainbow flag, go ahead and just come out with it and tell the truth. That sister saw it first. Black women are always right. They see y'all coming. They understand who you are. And they're telling us. They gravitate over there on that side for a reason. Something about it over there that they like. Try to explain it away. Oh no, but you like it. Find a reason to support it. Because if you didn't like it, you wouldn't support it. It have a visceral effect on you. It's like when I tell a brother about it who didn't know, he said, what? Oh no, I'm done. I'm done. I had some brothers-in-law that didn't know anything about it. Man, I told the brothers about it. They were done. They were done with the Democrat Party. As soon as they heard it, I didn't have to explain nothing else. I'm done. Every real man I talk to about it, if they didn't know it, when I tell them, they say, I am done. But then you're going to find those ones that's got to, well, you know, try to find a reason to accept it. That's because that's who you are. You ain't fooling nobody. Probably got pink underwear on. Probably doing that Roland Martin watching gay porn. Watching gay porn on your phone and on your computer. Probably got a boyfriend across town on the down low. I know there's probably a few on the Republican Party side also. I believe me, I know. But it is exclusive on the Democrat side. And it is a danger. My friends, the Roman Empire, for 400 years, was the most powerful entity in the history of the world. Them Romans didn't play. I mean, them jokers did not play. When they rolled in, you had two options. Surrender or die. That was it. They beat down everybody they came across, and they did it with precision. And all of a sudden, one day you woke up and Rome's gone. Gone. The barbarians, they came in and destroyed it. And for years, people studied what happened to Rome. How did Rome fall? How did this empire of men, strength, valor, how did Rome fall? How did Caesar and Augustus, how did their descendants cease to exist? It was easy. Rome lost its manhood. They started hiring mercenaries to defend them because the men became too effeminate to do it. The men stopped teaching their sons about virtue, about honor, about manhood. They started teaching them that it was arbitrary. That when David told Solomon to gird thyself up and be a man, I ain't really be man. He didn't really mean man. They became too consumed with pleasure, too consumed with stupidity and games, playing video games all the time. going to parties all the time, dancing, playing all the time, not dealing with the ideology and the physical concepts that make a man a man. All that became kind of arbitrary. And the next thing you knew, all those people that they'd been messing with over the 400-year period started smelling weakness. And they came in and it killed them all. We are there. The United States of America has been going around kicking behind all over the world for almost 250 years. Most powerful nation in the world. And now our enemies are smelling weakness. Saw us get run out of Afghanistan like a bunch of punks. Got ran out of Vietnam like a bunch of punks. Took us almost 20 years to take care of Iraq. The great America. Why? We're too consumed with giving men sex change operations and teaching them how to be men. We're too consumed with allowing men to have a womanly behavior or effeminate behavior and teaching them how to be men. That we're telling them there is no virtue and there is no definition of what it is anymore. That means we don't even know what it is. They won't join the Army. They won't join the Marine Corps. They won't defend their own nation. That's the harbinger. It happened to Rome. It happened to Greece. Now it's happening to America. I do this podcast to warn you. This is what is coming. Today, I am telling all the men, all real men that are part of the Democratic Party, it is time for you to get out. Because you are sustaining a party of wickedness and a party that is going to destroy you and your children. And all of you that stay, do like your old boy April Lavigne and put a dress on, put on some high heels, put on a wig, put on some mascara, and switch. And let the world know exactly who you are. And who are you? And again, in America, and in the Democratic Party in America, hey, it's virtuous, man. Just come on out and say it loud. Take your rainbow flag, wave it, walk down in Pride Month in June, put on your booty shorts, put on some leather, get on the float, put on a thong. Shake it, baby, shake it. Tell the world about your pride in your gayness. At least we'll know how to recognize you without too much trouble after that. With that, I want you to go to my website, VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That's VinceSpeaksTruth.com. There you'll see all of my wares. You're going to see my books. You're going to see my podcasts. You're going to see my caps. You're going to see my t-shirts, all my merchandise. Buy something. Support this program. Also, I want you to subscribe. I want you to like. I want you to comment. Because the more you interact, the more YouTube's going to like me. And the more they're going to have a harder time, keeping me off and blocking me like I know they're doing. So please, go to VinceSpeaksTruth.com. You're going to see my new book. The Inner Tolerance. The Inner Tolerance tells you that we have to stop tolerating these people doing this to our children. The men have to start standing up and telling them we're tired of it. You're not going to turn my boy into a girl. You're not going to turn my girl into a boy. You're not going to come into my home and push away our Christian belief system. I'm not going to allow it any longer. I'm not going to allow you to debase my family. And I'm not going to tolerate evil in my presence ever again. I'm going to rebuke you in public. I'm going to tell you to step back. And if you don't step back, I'm going to knock you back. All strong men, stand up. And leave that pack of perverts, weirdos, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots that make their home in the Democratic Party. Because if the devil walks this earth, he lays his head at the DNC, the Democrat National Convention. That's where he sleeps. That's where he lays his head and has all the clothes that he wears. this evil institution, this slaughterhouse called the Democrat Party. People, I am here to wake you up. Please join me again. My name is Vince Everett Ellison, and I'll see you next week on the Vince Everett Ellison Show.